Heyo, welcome Ratlings, I'm Paranoid Rat, and I draw stuff. Look, I'm doing a part 2 video, aren't you proud of me? If this isn't character development, I don't know what is. And speaking of characters, I've dug up more of my old characters from the pits of hell I tried to bury them in, to bring them back to life, and bring them the justice they deserve. Now, since this is a part 2 video, you might want to check out the previous one first because it goes over like the main characters and story and stuff. But these are just more side characters I wanted to draw and redeem. Watch at your own risk, I suppose. Anyway, these are the terrible characters I am fixing. Quick background, this is a story and characters I created when I was 12 about shapeshifters being hunted by the evil queen who, gasp, was an exiled shapeshifter looking for her daughter who was kept a secret from the world. Yes, this is very old. But these characters were dear to me and I wanted to come back to their designs and fix them up with my newfound art skill. First up, this is one of my favorite side characters from the story. She somehow survived every edit and revision because I loved her very much. This is Nyx and she is, you guessed it, shapeshifter. They turn into a wolf, and much like every other design from the story, that is not clear in her human design beyond, like, matching yellow eyes. So I needed to fix that immediately. I always struggled with her design the most. The only consistent thing were the yellow eyes and, like, dirty blonde hair. But I ended up scrapping that in this new one for a grayish-brown color that felt more wolf-like. And again, I made her hair look like ears. On the nose, yes. Do I care? Not in the slightest. I gave her a different body shape and tried to make her fairly muscular. At least thick enough, you know, she can throw a solid punch if she wants to. Which she usually does. And I wanted to do something to mimic, like, the wolf tail in her silhouette, and I just decided she had, like, a cloth tucked to her belt that gives off the silhouette or whatever. It's, you know, it's not out of the question. It's fantasy-like. I've seen some designs with this pretty common. Whatever. I always love this character, as previously stated. They were the hot-headed daughter of the old guy, who's the leader of the shifter camp. And you usually just ended up getting Arlen, see part 1 if you weirdo, out of trouble, and was essentially an unofficial bodyguard with a sarcastic remark on hand. Far prefer this new design over whatever inconsistent crap I cooked up before. This feels like something she would actually wear and much more suited to her as a person and their personality. I struggled with the colors a lot and tried to turn it more to warm oranges and reds to mimic her more fiery personality, I guess. But I think I went a bit overboard and all of her coloring ended up looking kind of weird and out of place, and I might go back to change it. We'll see. I probably won't because I'm inconsistent, but it's not that bad. It's the thought that counts, right? Something like that anyways. Hi, sorry for interrupting here. The art will return in just a second. Hold on. So, in a few weeks, I'm getting a puppy. Look at this little fluff nugget. That is going to be trained as a service dog for me. I've probably needed it for a while now, but with college coming up in a few years, where I'll need it a lot more, we're getting started now. And if you didn't know, service dogs are pretty flippin' expensive, and I'm trying to make some extra money to help pay for the puppy and vet bills and such. We're thinking about setting up like a GoFundMe soon, but if you want to help out and just, you know, help me pay for this, I have a Redbubble shop with some designs on it, but I don't get much from that. And I also do like these like colorful commissioned pet paintings of any animal you have. And I'm thinking about doing some digital ones or just like commissions of your characters. I'm trying to get more stuff up on my Instagram about this so I can, you know, just start bringing in a little bit more money to pay for this. And if you're interested, you can DM me on Instagram and we'll try to work with you and do something, cause I can draw onto the drawings. So this next character I talked about a bit in my last video. This is Ginevra, the medicine woman of the camp. She was the very maternal character to Arlen and Ellis. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's on you for not watching the first video, buddy. And at the time, I was really, really happy with her design. Probably one of my favorite designs at the time for me. I lucked out, and for that time in my art, I'm still kind of proud of this. From what I was drawing back then, this is really good. But I have a lot of changes to make. She turns into a pink snake, which I thought was adorable, so I naturally had to make a character based off a pink snake. Naturally. She was my little bit of body variety at the time, and I stuck to that. I consider her making her a lot thinner and serpent-like, but it felt wrong, so she gets hips. Fight me. I kept her pretty similar to her original, keeping the braid, kind of vaguely snake-like, but I made it white. The black was nice contrast, I guess, but it made her look too much like Ellis, and in these designs, I was trying to make them not look like each other, because previously, you would have thought they were related. I thought they were related, which they aren't, and which is important. And I really like the soft pastel color palette for her. I tried to add more details and trinkets to keep it more interesting and medicine woman-y. The necklace she's wearing is meant to be a subtle hint at a snake spine. And whenever I do snake-based designs, it happens a lot, apparently. I really try to slip in a diamond and triangle shapes when I can, which is difficult for her because I wanted her to be very round and soft. Shape language. So a mix of both. I really like the pink for her, which I try to make more dominant in her design. I don't do characters that are super pink very often, but I have been a lot more recently, and damn, I never regret it when I do. When it works, I suppose, and I did give her slit snake eyes and a slightly flatter nose. Not full on moldy shorts, but a little reminder she still is a snake. And the eyes definitely add a lot more intrigue to her design, and I like drawing slit eyes on my characters. It's a thing. There's a lot of characters with them. In this story, like I said, she's the very maternal figure in our main character's stories. She's kind of like the mother of the entire camp, if I'm being honest. Ellis, you know who I'm talking about at this point, was orphaned, parents killed by hunters, so she took him in under her wing as her apprentice and ward. All in all, very happy with this design in the end. And last up, we have Jay. He didn't have much of a purpose, if I'm being honest. He was a small side character, along with a few others who just kind of, existed in the shapeshifter camp, who, sometimes help out, and he was kind of there for, a few things. Again, just kind of an extra face there, and I despise his old design. Probably one of the most out of this, small group of characters that were in the background. So I'm giving it a makeover, and I'm fixing it. I might do another video where I do even more of those characters, because it's fun, and I still like drawing them and their characters. But for now, just be happy with what you have, you ungrateful ratlings. Anyways, Jay. He turns into a blue jay. I am so creative. I know. His old design was just really lacking in everything and needed immediate attention, but for it burned off my retinas. So first off, I kind of wanted to keep this cross body thing. The half jacket is a nightmare, and I want it to be burned, so instead I made it a shoulder guard where I could add in some feathery details. His hair also needed some direction. A quick Google search at what these birds actually look like showed me their feathers tapered back into this how to put this lightly, cone head. So I tried to mimic that in his hair. It's just really slight and just gives it some a hairstyle. It's not a basic fantasy dude shortcut. So yeah. I also gave him a open skirt thing. I wanted something to match that big old tail, so bro gets a feathery skirt thing. I have no idea what it is. Rule of cool, I guess. I have no idea anymore. Also gave him baggy pants tucked into black boots, which I like to do for bird-based characters, as because it reminds me of bird leg feathers, how that tucks into their tiny little skinny legs. It's small, but something I like to do, and I think it definitely gets the message across. And naturally, I stuck to blues and such, and blues and grays. Again, he didn't really have much of a purpose and personality beyond an extra set of hands that got shit done. Usually ended up just being completely terrorized by nicks, so not completely purposeless. And a big thing I tried to do in all of these designs was to diversify the cast a lot. The majority of these characters were all thin white people, and that will not fly any longer. I'm much happier with this design, which again makes me want to do another video like this, or like revisiting other stories I have from around this time, because this is not the only one that's in dire need of attention and help. But yeah, if you want to see more content like this, leave a comment below. I have a few other stories, like I said, from the Dark Ages that would be really fun to revisit. This was great. I love reworking old characters and designs. Certainly gives me a confidence boost to see the improvement of like 5 years of drawing religiously. I mean, it'd be hard to make them worse than what they were, so yeah, like easy confidence boost. Well, I hope you enjoyed me redesigning my old nightmare characters. I upload every Thursday, and any engagement really means a lot and goes a long way if you like this video. And if you didn't, I have no idea why you're still here unless you're in denial that you like my art, and then you should definitely subscribe. Till next time, you may leave now.